Up for bench is a GX-77 Akai reel-to-reel deck. It's uh, it's the last of the Akai decks, reel-to-reel decks. It's a 7.5 inch, 7-inch reel deck. I got it from a gentleman from a record place in South Carolina, Selma, and the roller, it had the usual problem. This roller was stuck at the up position, this particular roller that you see here, and the motor is a little weak in rewinding this one. Anyway, I brought it back, brought it home, opened it up, and first thing was that the belt was very loose, and I had to change it. I tried to look for the belt online, but nearly all the belts that I found were kind of thinner, and the belt like not as wide, and the belt keeps slipping off the motor. I tried adjusting the motor, tried all kinds of tricks, but nothing worked. Finally, I gave up. I basically got a belt from a turntable. I cut it, uh, put it, measured the right size, and then I glued the belt back to create a wider belt. And basically, to join the belt, I used that Flex Seal rubberized compound, the one that you must have seen on TV being advertised again and again with obnoxious kind of ads. Anyway, the belt worked very well after that. However, it had the other problems that this roller mechanism was all stuck in the up position because of the gear mechanism in this deck, jammed with the hardened grease. I opened it up, looked at it, and with some foolishness, I managed to kind of mess up that mechanism. And basically, I'll show you where it is. Um, so if you open the deck from behind, basically you will see at the back that this is the mechanism which drives this roller up and down, this auto roller mechanism up and down. And if you look closely, it got a couple of broken teeth in this gear. Now it still worked, but every now and then, unpredictably, it would be off and it would stop working, and I had to just open it again and again to fix it. Pretty much, I gave up on this deck and was almost thinking like what to do with it. Should I just sell it for parts, or cannibalize it, take out the parts and sell individually, or whatever. But I'm not much of an eBay person or into selling. I mostly like to repair stuff. So I put it aside, and it had been sitting for almost like 2 years. I would keep checking online, on eBay and other places. And finally, I managed to find another mechanism perfectly intact, no broken gear or anything, together with the solenoids. Somebody was selling two pieces of this mechanism, not one. So it looks like it never rains, but it pours, and from Europe, and it was kind of expensive. And I had my doubts if the solenoids would be okay, if they will be all gears proper or not. But the mechanism arrived like maybe a couple of weeks ago, and then basically I checked, and whoever had taken the mechanism out had properly cleaned it and lubed it. So I really didn't have much to in terms of preparing it to be installed. And finally, after 2 long years, I was able to install this mechanism, and now it works perfectly well. The only complaint this deck still has is that the motor runs a little weak, especially when the reel is more full on one side. It's a known problem with this type of deck. Many people have different solutions, and the only solution that I know of is somebody posted online that you have to change the relays to make the motor more powerful, and that's what it makes it work. Anyway, I'm not prepared to rip it apart and install new relays on it. I will just leave it as is. The deck is working fine. Just to demonstrate how the loading mechanism work. Let's see, if I push it, you will see that it comes down. With another push, it loads it up and basically plays. So let's hear some music. Come to Papa Blue, my sweet embrace I was very fortunate to find this deck with the flip cover. So the flip cover is still there. I still have to install it. The final step in the service is to basically just put back the back and the front cover of this deck, and I plan to do it tonight. So hopefully this will be all fixed, at least for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this information may be useful in some way to somebody who's working on this deck. I can provide more specific information if people want it, like how to basically disassemble this deck and reach the mechanism and fix it. Many a times you will see when this is being fixed that these rollers are stuck in the up position. When these two rollers are stuck in the up position, basically it's impossible to take out the front panels. So in that case, if you have a situation like this, you have to open the deck from the back. You'll have to push a finger or a thin screwdriver to unrelease the mechanism and manually move it until this roller comes down and these two rollers also go down into their cavities. Only then you will be able to access the screw behind the front panels and you will be able to remove the front panel. Anyway, this is the short story of this deck. Thank you for watching.